Hello everyone, how you doing today, guys? Boy, I tell you, today's been tumor day. Tumor here, tumor there, here's a tumor, there's a tumor, everywhere's a tumor. I tell you, as you guys are learning, which I am so proud of you guys, as you know, what is this? Eliza, what are you getting out of people? I'm so proud of you guys. Look at this. This is something foreign. I take it this person had rectal cancer or colon cancer. Jacksonville. You guys in Jacksonville are kicking butt here. Take a look at this thing. It'll probably be up there for long. You'll see that. I don't know if you can see that. They pooped that baby out of there. That's like a tumor. So, good work. I've seen tumors come out both rectal and up the mouth. So, good job, man. You guys in Jacksonville are butt kicking. Well, all of you guys are. I'm proud of each and every one of you, you know it? So, this is just going to be a short video to cover up some questions. I saw one here I wanted to make sure I got back with here. But, man, good work, you guys. Good work, good work, good work. Now, here's one I wanted to talk about here, and this is a thyroid nodule, which is common, benign thyroid nodule. Doesn't matter if it's benign or cancerous. If it's cancerous, it only means that those acids have been breaking down the cells, and that, of course, then makes it a cancer, because cancer is just a word for damaged cells. It's what damages the cells that's essential to understand and go after, and of course that's your lymphatic system that deals, your sewer system that deals with the acids from the cells. So, you know, it's kind of funny when you look at it that way. And this is from Spelled Dreams. I like that. My girlfriend has a thyroid nodule. The doctor wants to cut half her thyroid in 5 months. This is why I wanted to do this. I appreciate this email, by the way, or a YouTube thing. I tried the watermelon fast, but my girlfriend lasted only 3 days. It wouldn't take any more. I think I watched all your videos in the last 2 weeks, but I'm still unsure what must be done. Okay, so here, this is Spelled Dreams. Consider a thyroid nodule no different than a nodule in the colon or anywhere else. When you start to see swelling anywhere, or a pimple, or a boil, or a cyst, or a tumor, you know there's a blockage. When there's a blockage to the flow of a fluid, the fluid backs up, right? Just like a lake, a stream going down a mountain, and you got beavers building dams all the time, the water backs up and overflows the banks, right? Well, the same thing happens when the kidneys lose their ability to filter. And sometimes it's over years and slow, and other times the genetics are so bad, I wonder if kids come in not even filtering. Look at the young babies with tumors. Your mother wasn't filtering. And when the mother isn't filtering lymphatically, guess what? Neither's the infant. And so now we're seeing just tons of tumors in children. And so, you know, they all march down the road of chemo road. It makes me want to puke. But with that said, nodules are like the same things going on in the thyroid, and you want to get this out, and you might want to have your girlfriend listen to this video because she needs to deal with this now. Cutting out your thyroid is stupid and crazy, because now you'll have symptoms. They'll put you on some synthetic T3 like Synthroid or levothyroxine, and your life will be hell. Forget the calcitonin in there, and if they remove part of the parathyroid glands, forget your bones, forget your happiness, forget that. And you want to deal with this now because you have to address why the nodule. And it's up here this high, meaning the whole head can be involved. And it just shows kidney and adrenals are down and not filtering. And so you want to clean up the bowels, get the kidneys and adrenals filtering. Yes, sweetheart, the diet's going to be strict. Watermelon fast, grape fast, it doesn't matter. You can do a lot of this with herbs, and maybe this is in the earlier stages of her lymphatic system issues, or not. You want to get a picture of her eyes and then use the YouTube and look at what we're looking at. Since some of these videos are lost, I'm going to do a new one to show you what's good and not so good in the eyes. And we want to go back and show you guys that so you can identify lymphatic stagnation in the eye. That's key, and it'll really help you to see that. So getting a nodule out is no different than getting any other tumor out. It requires fruits, berries, and melons because they're astringent in nature. It requires you to get into the adrenal glands. Chances are, if you're young guys, you got low blood pressure too. So you want to go into those adrenals, get the kidneys filtering. So we do adrenal glands. Sometimes we do the glandular because of chronic. And if this is a young gal, she probably has chronic adrenals at her age. It's possible. Look at the blood pressures. Anything below, let's say, 105, probably going to be in the chronic levels, especially if the diastolic is in the 60s or 70s. If you have a 110 blood pressure and your bottom is 80, you're 20 points too high on the bottom. So when you bring those kidneys into line and that diastolic goes down to where it should be 60 to 65, that 110 is going to drop into the 90s. That's when you start to feel that, the chronic fatigues and that. But the other side of that whip is the lymphatic system, and that's the sewer system of the human body. That's where all the cancers are, except for a few true leukemias. Even half the leukemias are lymphomas, so at least created. So this is why that system is so very, very important to get onto. And don't get overhyped up about some nodules in the thyroid. Just get your focus. She has to learn what the lymph is, and that if she doesn't get this now, she can pop tumors in her brain or other places. This isn't just about the thyroid, believe it or not. This is a systemic problem. And you're seeing that. You guys that are working with people are seeing this over and over, that when your lymph is backed up, it isn't just backed up in one place, it's backed up all through you. The genetic weak places are already backed up from genetics. Remember, we talked about that. And Jensen had a focus on that, knowing that when tissue is compromised, lymph system was compromised. He also felt blood flow was compromised, and he might be accurate with that. I can't speak to that part of it. But you can definitely see the lymphatic compromising by the eyes there. So you want to get this nodule out of the thyroid, but you don't have to get so focused that you freak out. And for a medical doctor to pull off the thyroid, this is ridiculous. Half the people in the world have nodules. You just want to back them down, and it's coming interstitially. The nodules comes right out of the tissue, and it's full of interstitial fluid. That's acid fluid from the cells. It's a protection of the thyroid gland. Believe it or not, your body protects itself by isolating acids and chemistry that could hurt you. It puts them into little sacs, or what we call tumors or cysts. Sometimes we get it to the skin, which is your third kidney, in the form of pimples, boils, cysts, that sort of thing. You see acne, you see psoriasis, you see eczema, you see all these sort of things. This is just sewage oozing out the skin instead of going down through the kidneys. So you want to take care of this. Very important for all the other reasons that come along with this, the reason why she has the nodules. So I would definitely rethink having a thyroid removed. That would not make a person happy. When you start removing endocrine gland tissue, you're hurting yourself bad, because these tissues literally control everything about you physically, but can reach in emotionally and mentally to you as well. So you don't want to remove tissue, you want to fix things. Medical doctors can't fix things. We're the carpenters. We fix things, and we're the plumbers. And the janitors, but we fix things. You can't just treat things, and treating is not removing. I mean, their treatment now is removing. This is white to roses. Interesting. I like that. I was wondering about the book, Eat Right for Your Blood Type. You mean I'd have to continue reading this? I disagree totally with that concept. He talks about the different blood types and what foods are best for your type. Mine is A+. A positive. He says pineapple is good for that blood type, but you were saying pineapples are acidic. They are. Now, you get a pineapple off a plant ripe, you've got nectar of the gods. So, listen, I disagree totally, sweetheart, Christine, with the blood type stuff. That deals with antigens, that deals with immunity, that has nothing to do with physiology and dietary habits. And I think this, I disagree totally with this person. We are a species. We are a frugivore species, and just because you've lived in Alaska or you lived in northern climates and you've had high protein diets through your generations and high starch and stuff, that doesn't mean you're not a fruitarian. That means you've been eating wrong and your family's been eating wrong. But that's what happened to the Homo sapiens on Earth. They migrated and spread out like ants across the landscape. Well, they got into hostile environments to the species. We have nothing to protect us from cold environments or killing. We have to invent weapons. So the problem is that you've got to return to these tropical diets. I can take anybody in Mongolia, northern Alaska, anywhere in the cold climates, put them on a fruit diet and clean up anything in their bodies. Yes, the impact of the environment is tough. You guys know that in Canada and those cold countries where you're trying to do all fruit in the winter, really hard. Because fruit is alkaline, cold is alkaline, everything's alkaline, and it's out of balance. However, when you get sick and when you get tumors and you get full of acids and pain and swelling, who cares? You want to get alkaline. You want to hydrate. Remember, dehydration is interstitial, and you can't drink water to hydrate. Forget that idea. That's ridiculous. Water's acidic unless you throw some electrolytes, and when you throw minerals, get some colloidal or liquid minerals, still have a hard time of absorption of minerals. The true hydrators are the salts, and these come in through the fruits and the berries and the melons. They also have the astringent properties and the high flavonoids. Now, fruits and berries are the most nutritious foods on the planet, by the way, and they get into the body and they give us everything we need constantly. But especially when you need healing. It doesn't matter to me what your diet is afterwards. We're focused on healing. I really can't be concerned what people decide they're going to eat. And then life has a way of taking you in different places, and all those sort of things. But to detox the body, you've got to be on a high fruit, berry, and melon diet. I think you guys are getting that, most of you guys. Good work. What a tumor that is. Woohoo! Or something. Something that wasn't supposed to be there. A little alien moved in. Yeah, what do we got here? I am new to you. I was referred to you by an individual here. I asked if, Kenrola, hello Kenrola, had worked with people with electrosensitivity and was referred to you. And this something you've worked with as well. I've been experiencing some difficult reactions to Wi-Fi for 6 years. Well, you know what, the same thing. I want you guys to remember that in the environment of acidosis, things are brought into what's called an anionic medium, meaning a dehydrated, coagulated medium, a glomulated medium. And that means that chemistry tends to bond together. And not necessarily the right way. Picture kidney stones, gallstones, things like this. And this is what you're seeing when chemistry bonds in the wrong way. And so that's why the alkaline chemistry is so important to bring hydration interstitially, meaning interstitial means around the cells. So all your body is a bunch of cells with spaces in between them. And those spaces are predominantly filled with fluids. So you have two fluids that dominate interstitial levels, blood and lymph. And lymph is the dominant fluid of the human body. You hold water in places and things like that. Most water, however, is held in endemic scenarios where hydration is being attempted by the body, and then the sucking of electrolytes into that, either stealing calcium out of the bones or connective tissue or whatever, because the body's trying to seek its own level of hydration, especially when the foods are coming in constantly acid forming. So when you're acidic and the foods you're eating are acid forming, you become one big acid. Well, by becoming one big acid, now pain, fibromyalgia, lupus, all these things start coming into the body because the body becomes acidic, the kidneys fail to filter, the lymph backs up, and then you become bloated, you become painful, inflamed, all of the things that you see in what medical doctors term diseases. These are not diseases. This is the body going down. you're breaking down your body. Acids break down. This is not an acid planet. This is a base planet, rapidly becoming acidic. And you don't hear people talk about that. Even with the acid air and stuff, it's loosely talked about. And this is also true with, all the fallout, what they call fallout and stuff like this. We just had this discussion this morning about all the acids going into the lakes and rivers and mutating the fish and frogs. We're mutating our environment by what we're throwing up in the environment. And this is why you see global warming. Acids, and acids are heat producing. It's just a given fact. That's why you can have a low thyroid and feel cold, but be burning up inside from acidosis. So, my point with all this is that you also have an agglomeration or a coagulation of magnetics. And if you'll notice, we are jamming the frequencies, and I'm sure the governments are jamming the frequencies as we speak. So we've got a lot of things hitting us subconsciously, and that's why I think you see people literally just going nuts. Killing their families, killing this. It's just the way all this is coming down. Sad to see. So that's why each and every one of you guys are so important to this planet. Whether it's important to the planet itself, I don't know. This area is a blink of God. But it is the lowest that we've been able to discover and the most inert. And that's why things are so slow here. If you've ever been out of the body, as soon as you think a thought, boom! Here, it's got to be metered and goes through levels. And the reason is obvious. The mind is immature here. Think of a thought that you might have had against somebody. And I knew a guy once that every time he thought a thought, it manifested. So if he saw someone walking down the stairs, he would think, whoops, they could fall. And the next thing they do, they fall. So he got fearful of using the mind. I myself started getting into mind control a lot, and I just won't even go there with you. But I walked away from the mind going, nope, nope, nope. I don't need that karma. I don't need to influence other souls for anything. I don't care, because you have to pay for everything you do here. So it's just developing your spirituality too. But in terms of Wi-Fi and in terms of all these magnetics, get your body more alkaline, alkalize. Green juices are a benefit with this, and that's going to be particularly your alfalfas. Wheatgrass, okay. Ken Roll is a wheatgrass freak. But alfalfa, Ken knows that one too is really well. Barley, okay. So these greens are helpful, but I would add parsley, dandelion greens. And your seaweeds, kelp, dulse, nori, all these sort of things would be helpful too to have. I like the supplement of kelp because of the high iodine and the high calcium, all bonded with the other boys and girls within the chemistry family. So that's what I would do, is just keep detoxing my body, because you will detoxify radiation out of the body as well. Remember, I told you the story of the first atomic bomb experiment, and all the guys, I forget how many miles away, 15, 20 miles away, and they all got burnt still. And I had a guy from the first atomic bomb, looked like Santa Claus. I was able to get that radiation out of him after, 30, 40 years. I was able to get it out of him and return his body to normal. But that's just what's going on. As we get more acidic, we start holding, we start dehydrating, and we start frying up. So that's what, we're having a bad storm out there. So that's what I would do. That's what I would do, is work with alkalizing my body and getting my lymph system cleaned out. Then everything flows through the body, flows through. You want energy levels to flow. Blood is an energy flow. Lymph is an energy flow. Nerve is an energy flow. But all flows of the body, our energy, is dependent upon different eliminative organs, different focuses, the way the body uses these organs to move energy through. And the kidneys and adrenals are a major source of this. Now this is one I think I missed yesterday that I wanted to come back and talk to, and this is Dot here. Her question was, I have an additional question on cutting back on Synthroid. My basal temperature has been in the 95 to 96 range. Now that's real chronic. When you're 95 to 96s, you're cold. And when you're that chronic, my guess is your parathyroids are down too, and you're going to see calcium-related problems too. When you're that cold, I would also pick up and think about that pituitary. That pituitary could be sitting on top of the thyroid. You could have two weaknesses, pituitary and the thyroid, and both causing the low numbers of this. TSH is low. Look at your blood work, even though keep in mind, blood work is somewhat inaccurate steroid and hormone look. Now, since on the endocrine gland detoxing and glandulars, pituitary and parathyroid, my temperature is now 97 to 97.2. Good job. Good job. Now we want that a little warmer. We want to move you up above 97.5. 97.8 is a good place to be, low side of normal, but even in today's world of thyroids, give me a 97.6, somewhere in that range. But good job. While continuing basal temperature on the rise be an indicator that I can come off Synthroid. Now listen, this is a must-do, and I say this in that side of life is not mine. That side is owned by medical doctors. But I'll have to say that most medical doctors don't have the understanding that we do, and some do. And the best medical doctors out there, when you ask for a medical doctor, ask them if they know detox, if they know how to rebuild tissue, and then go to that one. And they're more and more learning this, and it's really good. It's happening a little slowly. But if you can't have access to that, if it was me, I'll put it in that context, I certainly would have already been doing that. Because the whole idea is you don't want synthetic T3 or synthetic T4, you don't want armor, you don't want any of that. You do not want to live on hormones because you'll only weaken the thyroid, and it does nothing to supply you calcitonin. That's another hormone out of the thyroid gland. They don't even talk about that one. So you don't want to weaken endocrine glands. Not wise, since they control literally everything in the human body. If I'm a little hyped up, we've been busy today with tumors. Now, so if it was me, I certainly, depends how long you guys have been on a Synthroid or levothyroxine or even Armour. If you start being on them for 4 and 5 to 10 years, then you want to slowly come off of it. If you've been on it for a year, but it never hurts to come off slowly. So if it was me, I'd definitely cut my Synthroid in half if it was me. Now, I can't tell you because your medical doctor should be helping you. The problem with that is they don't help much, and they're always mean and aggressive to you. Not the good ones, but, you know, I hear this all the time, and I'm just going by what I hear. And I hear it from all these clients and medical doctors, what they tell them when they ask them for help. And that's nowhere to be. A health practitioner is there for you no matter what question you have and should be able to answer it. If you can't answer it, tell them I don't know. And that goes for you guys healers. You healers in this. If you ask a question, if you don't know it, man up. I don't know. Haven't had that experience. And that's what I'll tell you. I don't know. Haven't had the experience. Honesty always. Honesty always. So, I'd be cutting down on my Synthroid myself already. I'd be cutting it in half, making sure, keep watching those basals, make sure you hold. If you don't hold, increase your thyroid a little bit. Make sure you keeping that thyroid up to that level. Use the glandulars because they're not hormonal based. They're cells. And so they'll ignite the other cells. They're just cells. And that's what you're trying to get, is cells to the cells. You're trying to like the stem cell kind of philosophy, even though stem cell treatment is turning out to be real bad. But irregardless, you want to kind of cut down and get off of that within a short time. Depends how long you've been on it. Rely on the glandular to increase basal temperatures. Rely on your glandular to turn on the thyroid, not supply it with the hormones. And work that way. And that would be true of any steroid as well for the adrenal glands. Don't have insurance and will probably need to back off by using my own common sense. Don't seem to put up on the spot. I accept all responsibility working to get my eye pictures. Dot, you're a great soul there, dear. And you're doing just what you need to do. But just a little helpful information there. I'm going to have to stop this because I just wanted to get a hold of a couple of these things, and you're the one I wanted to talk to particularly. And then when I got this big tumor I'm going, yeah, baby. Let me see. I feel like a circus freak. Oh, here's one. Let me see who this is from. Oh, Gabby. Hey, thanks very much. Thank you so much. When I go to a new doc, I feel like a circus freak because they are always wanting to show their fellow colleagues my skin and what X-linked ichthyosis looks like. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hey, how you doing with that? You know, I mean, it doesn't matter, to tell you the truth, and that's what's interesting. All these type of acidosis type of things, subcutaneous constipation, if you will, it can take the form and look of anything. Wrinkle skin, alligator skin. I saw a lady in the circus once, and she was just what you said, alligator skin. You've got to go within. This is a within issue. And you can clean the subcutaneous tissues because they're tied to the lymph nodes. Make sure your thyroid is up there and you get enough body temperature to sweat. You want in the upper 97s. The other thing is open up your channel with your kidneys and your adrenal glands. You're going to have to stay on some Parasite M for a while to deal with all the fungal problems associated with this sort of problem. And then just keep on digging in. You can take the skin formula. You want 2 kidneys, 2 lymphatics. You really want to address your sewer system, because the skin is the 3rd kidney, and that's just how you see it. No matter what you see, know what it is, because there's only 2 fluids of the human body, major fluids, and that's blood and lymph. And of course there's only 2 sides to chemistry. So take a look at that and you'll see that what that is. I'm not, as far as putting stuff on the skin, not a fan of that, because you're already backed up subcutaneously. That means just under the top layers, the 2 top layers of the skin, you're backed up. That whole area in iridology, interestingly enough, links to the lymph nodes. So you want to clean your lymph system, get your 2 other kidneys filtering, get your thyroid up so there is some breathing to the skin, and it's going to take you a while, but you'll see a transformation of that skin. You'll be real pleased. But you really want to get in there and move that lymph, so get yourself up on these high fruit diets and detox, get the GI, but clean your bowels out, clean your liver out, clean the spleen, just clean your body out and rebuild it. All right, you guys, I got to run. I love you guys. I wish I could spend more time. We're going to go to live videos where we'll do this live, and then you can post questions, and then we'll be able to give me the question and answer this. So we're going to do that coming up. He's just got to plug it all in and get it all set. Okay. I love you guys. You have good. Take care of yourselves. You're doing well. These are going to be hard times coming, guys. So even spiritually, keep yourself strong. Don't let anybody come in and take you off your joy. Nothing's worth it here, because you're so much more. This is just your drama. You, on the other hand, are the eternal being. And so you want to connect to who you are as that eternal being. And therefore, none of this will matter. It's simply your fun. It's simply what you do to experience life. And then you'll see why God created creation. All right. May the blessings be, guys. Bye-bye. Facebook people, you're butt kickers. You guys are all doing good, every one of you. Got some tough cases out there, but you're doing good. And all you guys that are fighting for your life, hang in. But know that you're the most important thing. Not this body, you are. So work with that. Understand who you are, and you'll be free eternally. You will never have to worry about whether your body's sick or not sick. And that alone will help your body get well. The pressure of thought out of the mix. Thought is very powerful. And so, but consciousness is so much more powerful. And that's what. Consciousness is a state of beingness, a state of the now that is total intelligence. Hard to describe, but it's what you already are. And all you have to do is practice the observation technique, the watcher. Remember that watcher on the edge of the universe thing or whatever? All right, you guys have a fun night. And as soon as I can finish up these eye pictures, I'm going to do that. And I'm going to, I don't know, if I can get it done this week, I don't know. I got so much going on, but I'm going to try to finish these up. I've had them for a while here, and I apologize, but just a lot of work. So, till then, watch your dreams. There's a lot of activity there.